Alright, Cara. I've got a couple of tracks for you to go through, and I could just send you kind of basic videos for them, but I thought I'd kind of do a quick run through of them myself, just because basics videos tend to focus a lot on time trialing specifically, as opposed to kind of like racing like against other people, if that makes sense, because the lines you take and the things you do are slightly different. So, oh yeah, I'm going to go through, there's 4 tracks that I've picked out that I think would be good. I'll just kind of run through them quickly. On the first lap, I'll do kind of like a shroomless run, so without using any shortcuts or shrooms, and just kind of show basic lines. Then I'll do kind of shortcuts on the next lap, and then maybe some slightly more advanced stuff on the third lap. I've got CPUs on here because I thought it would be useful just showing where item boxes and stuff are, but they're just, if I can focus, they're just really easy CPUs. So on this corner, on the first lap, you want to do 1 mini turbo, don't get the coins, get an orange or purple around here if you can, you get this inside coin, and then another one here you can get, mini turbo, get the double. You notice how I use my shroom really late there. Just an orange around this one is fine. Trick off. There's 2 coins in the middle you can get. Now depending on what you're doing here, you can get the wide box or the tight one, depending on what you need. I wouldn't go for that line there. I'll do that line a bit better on the second lap. That was a bit tricky. So the first lap we did 1 mini turbo straight away. This one we're going to hold this one all the way around. Hold it, I'm holding wide right, get purple, and then you can continue that purple all the way around. You might need to do a little hop for alignment. There's a shroom cut here you can do with a single item box. You want to drift immediately when you come down. And off the end. Now there's a shortcut here on the left that you can do with the shroom. On the grass, round. 1, 2, 3. Try and get an orange down here if you can. Hold this all the way around for purple. I'm holding hard right here and then going left a little bit. If you're struggling with that purple, because it can put you on a weird line, just do the same strat as lap 1. Now there's a no item shortcut you can do here. If you're feeling brave, Basic has a video on how to do that. Now the other thing you can do, if you hop left and then right, you can hold your mini turbo off. So I don't do a trick there. I drift off and then release my mini turbo, because my mini turbo is faster than the boost that the thing gives me. So we'll talk about that again a bit later. That one's kind of really advanced. I don't think anyone else does that. I'm the only one at the moment that does that one. That's kind of typically how you want to be kind of driving that one. Nothing kind of too fancy. Getting familiar with a shortcut and then just kind of keeping that fluid. The next one, forgive me, remember where it is. Wildwoods. This is a really fun one. It's one of kind of favourites in the office. Some people say it's one of the best tracks in the game. It's a lot of fun. So again, I'll do kind of basic strats on this, and then kind of do a shroom cut at the end. So first lap, you want to be taking this really tight and see if you can build up this orange and take this right path. Left path is good if you want coins. If you can build up a mini turbo there, it's really good. 3 tricks, I'm shaking here. You can get a double if you need it, but single. Now I'm going to hold this drift. I'll hold it, and it will release itself. And that's really fast. Instead of tricking off of it, you just hold your drift. And when I'm going over these, I'm not tricking until I get to the last one. If that's kind of going on to boost cannibalization, I'll talk about that on the next lap. I'll stop and talk about that. So again, we're just going to go tight here. Get the orange. Try and get a drift one there. 1, 2, 3. Well, there is a strat where you can go inside this barrel, but don't worry about that. Hold my mini turbo off and just enjoy the boost you get from it. It's much faster. Take this tight. So yeah, when you come onto these, if you trick, the boost you get from tricking only applies once you land. You don't get the boost in mid-air, you get the trick when you land. But because you land basically into another boost panel, you don't actually need to trick there at all until the last one, because there's no other boost panels afterwards. So yeah, I'll talk about that kind of one more time as we go, but just drift through here, hold this all the way through. Orange or purple is fine. Purple is obviously faster. Like so. Trick off that, don't trick, trick. And there's a shroom cut you can do here as well. So that's that. There's one thing I actually forgot to talk about on that track, so I'll just show you that one quickly. There's another little trick here you can do called a mini turbo trick, which I kind of just did without even thinking about it, and I remembered on the last lap. I'll just show you what that is. But yeah, basically, if you just trick off a ramp normally, you get a normal trick boost, which gets you so far. But if you do a mini turbo and release a mini turbo at the same time you trick, you go even further. So I can't do it here because there's not enough room. This is the inside line that you can take here. It's a bit sweaty, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. There's also a sweaty line you can do. Oh, no, I fell off. I'll do that next lap. So trick off this one. If you hold this drift and then trick and release the mini turbo at the same time, you go really far. No trick, no trick, trick. Left here because I've got a shroom. Trick. Keep it tight. I want coins this lap, so I'm going to go left side because I want coins. And do 1 mini turbo, 2 mini turbo, trick. Time trial does that kind of really sweaty line. Mini turbo trick off of that. 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that's Wild Woods. As a quick kind of breakdown, that mini turbo trick is really useful if you can kind of learn that basic. We'll talk about that a lot in his videos if you watch any of his videos and stuff as well. Like I said, it's a slightly more advanced strategy, so just I'm making you aware of it and why we do it sometimes. But yeah, don't worry too much about perfecting that straight away. That was Wild Woods. What was the other track that I wanted? Oh yeah, Thwomp Ruins, which was one of the early ones, wasn't it? There we go. Obviously, this is one that I did in the VOD review. So I'll show you kind of like a basic line and then a slightly more advanced line. I'll show you the shortcuts on this one as well, and kind of typically what to do when racing. So hold a drift all the way around, orange, into a single. Now you want to stay on this left side because it's faster. You can go wide for coins if you want, get the double. You can tell I don't take that that path very often, but yeah, you want to go around that way. You can trick off all that stuff. There's 3 coins here, but again, you can just go tight. Again, you can do this glider thing off here, but it's really tricky to do. So you can just, yeah, trick off that one normally. So that's lap 1. There's a shortcut here you can do. Again, get a nice drift early. See if you can build up that purple here. Now the line that I was talking about in the VOD is this one. So you kind of drift into the water, you hold it, and you release an orange into the water like that. That's quite an advanced one. So once you kind of got familiar with it, I'd recommend kind of, you know, seeing if you can learn that. I think Basic talks about it in his videos as well. You can come off here, trick off this. That'll be the one to focus on first, probably, is getting that one down. But if you're practicing both, you might as well do both, because they're at different points in the lap. The third lap, you can go down the middle, avoid the thwomp in the middle. I mentioned this in the VOD as well, but trick off this left side, it's a lot more consistent than hitting the stairs, or you can go right side. So yeah, that's Thwomp Ruins. The main shortcuts and everything there, relatively simple, but some advanced stuff as well. But just, yeah, getting familiar with the shortcuts on that one, and kind of that line going into the water, you drift into the water, you hold it all the way into the water, and then once you're in the water, you can hold a hard left, and it doesn't drift you. It doesn't like move your character. You can move the analog stick and you stay floating in the same direction that you go in, which is kind of really cool. So have a play with that. There's a couple of other races that you do that on. And the last one I recommend is Rainbow Road, partly because it's one of the ones that doesn't have any barriers, so obviously you can fall off. Definitely something to kind of consider. And again, this one has a lot of technical stuff on, so I might do a couple of rounds on this one. I'll do the basic line to start with. Get a drift off the first corner, and then just drive straight close to this left wall. Don't bump it like me. Now you want to actually brake drift down there, and you can brake drift around that one if you need to. Try and get some coins. Now instead of following the green path, you can follow this bit, and it's a lot faster. I missed a trick on that. The inside line here. Now the boring way of doing this is to go around to the right and hold this round to the left. I'll show you a shortcut on this as well that you can take. It seems really scary to start with, but once you get it down, it's a lot of fun. And I think it's one of my favourite shortcuts in the game at least. So that's lap 1. Lap 2, if you want to get sweaty, so you can do this kind of like triple boost strat. Hold brake around here again. And then down here, again, I'm going to drift off the glider. I'm not going to trick because it's faster. There's a shortcut you can take. Annoyingly, that's things in the way, but you can take this shortcut through here with a mushroom. Now this shortcut, so if you even get an orange down here, stick to the right side, start a drift, bump under this, and you can just drift off. I think Basic has a good video on kind of how to do that, but I'll stop lap 3 and I'll kind of show you. You can brake drift around that corner as well. This is kind of more advanced lines now. 1, 2, and then 3. Brake, brake. Just tapping brake ever so slightly. Hold your drift around this corner. You can shroom over that. Now here, so this, don't go over it. I'll have to show you that again in a minute. I didn't mean to drive so quickly over it. Drift off here. So I'm holding drift, and then release it when I land. I'm gonna take that inside line. So yeah, that's that track. Again, you can kind of keep it relatively simple, but as you start to build up, you can get used to drifting off that ramp, practicing that shortcut. I'll show you an alternative way of doing that shortcut as well. That's a little bit easier, but a lot slower. Let me go into time trial for it. That might be a bit easier to show you on there. So what I was trying to show you on the glider, obviously I was just driving into the glider. You can trick, and you get a trick boost into the cannon glider. Now, again, Basic's got some videos on this, so I can see if I can find them. But cannon gliders are slightly bugged. There's a thing you can do to get a faster boost on cannon gliders. So the normal gliders, like this one up here, this is not a cannon, it doesn't shoot you out. So those ones, mini turbo is faster. You can't do that in cannon gliders, which is what this one is up here. So with these, what you want to do is you hop. So just like the same button used for drifting, you hop onto it. So you don't trick, you just hop onto it. And what it does is bring your glider out slightly faster. So if I just go through this normally and I trick, my glider takes a while to come out while I do the trick, and then I get to top speed once my glider is out. What you want to do is get your glider out earlier, which gets you to top speed quicker, which is therefore just faster. So what you can do, if you hop on the glider, that is called fast glider, and that just basically means your glider comes out quicker. Brake, brake. Lift off. So watch me hop onto this blue panel here. I'm not going to trick. Takes a little bit of practice, but you hop on, and my glider came out really quickly then. Like half a second quicker, which meant I saved a lot of time. Oh yeah, I was going to show you, I'll do that on lap 3, I'll show you the easier way of doing that strat. That technique took me a long time to learn. You can do it a few ways really easily, but doing it the faster way, which is when you build up the orange mini turbo, is really hard. So don't worry about doing it as well as I do. You can just build up a single mini turbo off there as well. But again, it's similar to when you're in the water. You can just, on Thwomp Ruins, you can just hold the analog stick in midair, and it doesn't change your direction once you kind of come off. So you can hold a hard right, it builds your mini turbo up. So you can just stay in the middle here, hit this thing, and just drive off. That's the kind of easy way of doing it. Obviously it's a lot slower because you don't build a mini turbo up. Let me show you that one more time. Yes, on this one I'll try and do kind of a pretty decent like run. If you just go through here. This is kind of a good like base level to get to. Drift off of here, release that. Try and land on this bit a little bit, even just build a single thing up. Come on here, hop on the panel, get the fast glider. So we get an orange through here, stay in the middle, hit to the right side of this. You'll come flying off and get one more drift around here, release it. One more through here. You can brake a little bit, just like tapping it to stay really close. And that will keep you on the track really well. So those are those 4. I think one more I was just going to quickly show you was just the line that you can take on Bone Dry Dunes. That was one of the other things from the VOD. Just teach you this one real quick. If you're interested, I think just seeing it once or twice was probably, you have to kind of learn it a little bit better. But yeah, there's plenty in those 4 tracks to kind of teach you a lot of the, like, some of the fundamentals around cannon gliders, doing the mini turbo tricks off of ramps. There's a lot of like places to grow. So off here, I'm not going to trick. I'm just going to drop down, hold my drift, 1, 2, and again through here. So I get an orange through there. You can hit these boost panels. Watch out for the bananas. The double item box is up on this right side, so you want to get that. This then puts you on a really nice position where you can then drift nice and tight left. When you come from the left side, it's really hard to take that corner. Drift nice and wide, and then when you can see the shortcut, that's when you can go through it. If you can't see the shortcut, you're probably not doing it quite right. If you're taking the shortcut, come from the left side, you get a much better alignment through here. So again, just come off here, don't trick, drift, see if you can get an orange through here. And then, nice and easy. There's another path up top you can go to if you go on the left side. Technically you can get it from the right side, but it's really fiddly. I can see the shortcut now. That wasn't optimal shortcut. You can get a purple boost through there. This little like extra hopping that I do sometimes can be really good. Sometimes it's for alignment as well. Oh, that I tricked then. But it's still doable if you trick, but it's like it's a lot harder. Especially getting the item box. But if you come in here and don't hold your analog stick at all until you get to about the teeth, then you can make it up here. But it's pretty sketchy. But there is another item box up there. Oh, don't have a mushroom. So yeah, that's those tracks. Let me know how you get on. Again, that isn't like everything you need to know. That's just kind of rough lines for racing. Have a play, have a look at the basic videos for them as well. But that should introduce you to a lot of the more like advanced tech that there is in Mario Kart. And yeah, don't expect to kind of get it straight away. This stuff takes a lot of practice. But yeah, you can kind of build up to it, and as you start doing more tracks, you start to recognize, oh, this is this type of glider, I can do this. Oh, this is this type of glider, I can do that. And just kind of slowly build up your repertoire, I guess, of tracks that you're doing that stuff on. Some of them are really technical, where they have lots of those things in. Some of them are basic and have 0 of them in. But yeah, they can definitely kind of make or break races. But yeah, just getting familiar with what the racing lines are. If you are looking at kind of time trialing other stuff as well, basic videos are really good. But also there's streamless world records that you can look at, which don't take shortcuts. Those are more or closer to what you do in an actual race than they are anything else. But yeah, practice those. Practice some, like, get familiar with the track enough that you do the basic stuff, and then try one of the more advanced strats a couple of times. See if you can get that. And then when you start to do all the other tracks, you will start noticing, oh, I can do this. Your strategy on here as well. And you'll start building up that practice. So that's kind of what I'd recommend. Any questions? You know where I am.